I have a joint supervisor with another new graduate. So each week we have an hour put aside for supervision, and we alternate between a group supervision and one-on-one. Both of them are really helpful, and basically the setup's the same for both supervisions. First, it's like a check-in on how you're feeling like emotionally and like how your work-life balance is going. And then we go into the clinical stuff, which is so helpful. So I just get my case list up and I just give her so many questions about every client, and she just helps me a lot. And then I know what to do in my sessions for the rest of the week.
Yeah, the way that I use my supervision time is quite similar. We start off with a bit of a mental health check-in, just seeing how I'm going with my caseload, how I'm managing my work-life balance. We go through our case list and kind of look at what kind of things might be hard, or challenging situations that I haven't experienced before. And a lot of the time I'll kind of come with a bit of a plan of what I'm thinking of doing with that client. And I'll just check in with my supervisor and say, hey, is this something that you would do? Would you do anything different? Yeah, I think supervision and all of the support that we've been getting has really been beneficial to me personally, because sometimes it's easy to feel a little bit lost as a new grad, especially in this kind of community role where we're spending a lot of time on the road or at home or by ourselves. So it's really good to be able to have someone to have a chat with and seek advice from.
I feel like in the community setting, and especially as a new grad, we haven't picked an area that we want to focus on or specialise. We want a bit of everything, and it's impossible to be across everything. So having someone to, I guess, just ask the questions to really builds your confidence, and it just makes you feel more professional. I feel like you back yourself more when you have someone you can ask questions.
Yeah, definitely has given me confidence. So shadow visits are where you kind of tag along with a senior OT. Yeah, tag along to an appointment, see how they would run the appointment, and you're kind of just observing. The shadow appointments that I went on were really helpful. They were really relevant to what I was doing as a new grad. So for example, there was a Teams message that I saw pop up from one of the OTs saying that there was a scooter trial that she was doing, and she was inviting any new grad who would like to go. And I have an aged care client who I'm starting to prepare a scooter trial for in the next couple of weeks. And so I jumped on that straight away, and I went with her and just observed her doing that scooter trial just to get some advice on how I should go about it myself with my own client.
So we've had joint appointments where I'll go to one of my clients and my supervisor will come with me, and I'll lead the appointment, but they'll just be there to supervise and for help if I need them. It just gives you a bit of a security blanket. If you're unsure of what to do, you can kind of just invite in their opinion in the session, or they can agree with your clinical reasoning and they just give you feedback on like how the session went and what you could do next time, what you did well. And it's just really useful feedback, especially at the beginning of going into clients' houses, because it can be intimidating sometimes. So having someone else there makes you feel, I guess, safer and more confident.
So one of the joint appointments I had was over the phone. So that was a little bit different to what I was expecting. It was really helpful to have my supervisor just sit next to me while I was on the phone with my client. And yeah, it was good to see how she would go about things as well. Yeah, it was good to talk over it at the end and hear where she would take the next session, and what she would plan to do.
So before going on a visit, they would help me look at the client's files, so look at the referral, see what's required, what the client would actually want to gain out of occupational therapy. A joint appointment that I did was an initial aged care appointment. Never done aged care before, so they showed me the National 360 template, and then kind of talked me through the template and what you do in session. and showed me where to start on the template. And then like you walk around the house and you take photos. And yeah, they just told me a step by step of what to do when I got there. And then when I did get there, I followed those steps. And if I had any questions or if I got stuck, I kind of just asked them for help.
Yeah, the same kind of thing. For some of my clients, I was needing to do certain assessments. So my supervisor would go through what assessments would be most appropriate to kind of gather the information and on what I was trying to achieve in that session. So yeah, we'd go through those assessments step by step as well. And yeah, then after kind of come back to my supervisor and talk out the results and where to from there. It's definitely been a bit of a confidence boost having feedback from our supervisors. Sometimes it's just good to have their advice to kind of redirect you on the right path and reassure you that what you're doing is good.
Yeah, I just feel like as a new graduate, you feel quite unsure of what you're doing. Like you've never really done a lot of the things before, so having feedback to guide you and guide you just kind of supports you going forward, and then you know what to do in the sessions, and even feedback on actual clients that they give. So they, like, if a client's hard and you're really struggling with it, they validate that experience. So like, oh, that is a difficult client, and then it just makes you feel better.